A solicitor exposed my cheating husband. I think it's time to leave him.
And it's time to leave. Bye.
Yeah. I have been informed by a solicitor that my husband is having an affair. Yesterday morning, I was contacted by a solicitor. I was confused because I don't have any need for one for anything. She told me that her client is seeking a divorce from his wife due to the wife having an affair. By the way, this comes from user Anon Cheated Throwaway on the r/OKstorytime subreddit. So, their investigator found the affair is with my husband, and the client asked the solicitor to inform me since my husband is married. She provided me with proof of the affair. My brother-in-law is to be married on Saturday. My husband is the best man and is already there to assist with everything. Me and my 5-month-old daughter were supposed to leave on Friday morning to join them. My husband is unaware that I know. I am shocked, but the proof is right in front of my eyes. I haven't told anyone, but I have asked my sister to come over after work. I'm going to ask if my daughter and me can stay with her. I don't think I can face him at the wedding. I don't want to hear excuses. My sister's husband is a solicitor, and while he does not do divorces, I'll ask if he can recommend someone. I have to talk to my sister, but I'm mostly just getting my thoughts out on here because I feel entirely scattered. Here's some comments. OP on if the solicitor who contacted her is a real and licensed person to inform her about the affair. OP says, yes, of course. The solicitor who contacted me is a licensed solicitor. The proof was not photographic, but included videos, voicemails, and receipts. I would question a singular photo, but not this. The solicitor also informed me she is not able to advise me or take me as a client due to conflict of interest, but will provide the information to my solicitor should I pursue a divorce. OP on exposing her husband's affair and her excuse for not attending the brother-in-law's wedding. I think I'm going to tell him that I was exposed to COVID, so I have an excuse not to go, and then tell him I know on Sunday morning. I don't want to tell him before the wedding because his brother and his brother's girlfriend are lovely people, and I don't want anything to spoil their day, including my husband being upset while playing such a big role in their wedding. I would feel awful if I did that to them. He's giving a reading at the wedding, a speech at the reception, and helping his brother prepare and doing other duties to ensure it goes smoothly. I don't care how he feels, but I don't want his emotions to get in the way or spoil the day for the bride and groom. It is for their benefit, not his. I assume this is a reply to a comment telling her that she needs to press the issue right now. I respectfully disagree, and with the wedding only days away, I will not do anything to spoil it. There would be no time to bring someone in to do all the things my husband is responsible for. It's hardly a sacrifice to wait one more day. I don't even want to tell him until I'm at my sister's anyway. You may disagree, and that's fine. I'm thinking of his brother and the bride and their day. OP responds to multiple comments about not leaving the house, kicking the husband out, transfer her money from their accounts to a new bank account. OP says, we do not own a home, we rent a flat. Additionally, we must be separated for 2 out of the next 3 years in order to obtain a divorce. I will not be remaining in our flat. I can get my own once I'm ready. If I emptied the accounts, I could be subject to trouble during the divorce process. That is not allowed. Does OP know anything about the other woman, and if she knows about the divorce in progress? OP says, I have no idea who this other woman is. The solicitor who contacted me informed me that her client will be telling his wife about the divorce next week and told me to do what I needed so I have time. And here comes the update.
What a messy situation. But again, OP is...
done it properly.
OP's thinking reasonably and with their head on straight.
My update. I told my husband I had been exposed to COVID and couldn't attend the wedding. My sister helped pack, and she is letting me and my daughter stay with her until I find a flat. Someone I work with has a family member who has one up that I can afford that's available in January. When my husband returned home on Monday, there was a note telling him I knew about the affair. The husband of the other woman was going to be filing for divorce later that week, and I would not be far behind. My sister's husband is a solicitor, and he recommended a divorce solicitor to me. My husband and I both have jobs. We don't own a home. At the advice of my solicitor, I opened a new bank account for myself, but I did not touch any of our joint accounts. I'm not stopping my husband from seeing our daughter, and my solicitor said the law will favor sharing of custody. Unless it's about our daughter, I told my husband to have his solicitor talk to mine. I won't discuss anything else with him. Once we have been separated for 2 years, we can get a divorce. My solicitor said there is no way to shorten the time requirement. Thank you, everyone who showed me kindness. And there are some relevant comments, but real quick, kind of blows my mind that even in a case of like infidelity and cheating, you have to be separated for 2 years in the UK.
That's just the law, I guess. People who are from the UK, you know better than us in this point in the story.
Yes.
Is there any workaround?
Relevant comments. OP on the country's law for divorces and if there are any strict laws regarding infidelity. In Ireland, divorce was not made legal until 25 years ago.
What?
I mean, hey, it's better late than never, I guess, right?
I'm kind of speechless. That's kind of crazy.
Well,
I know there's a lot of other countries that have some really intense
well, I
divorce
guess
laws.
to be fair, it's like just the stipulation is that it wasn't legal in Ireland. So I guess there was just a bunch of illegal divorces going on.
I don't know.
Before that, divorces were not allowed at all. Oh, never mind. Until 2019, a couple had to be separated for 4 years, not the 2 years that it is now.
Whoa.
Wow.
That's huge.
Yeah,
In 2019?
That's crazy. In Ireland, divorce is no fault. It would also not make a difference anyways, as we aren't wealthy, don't own a home or any significant assets, and are both employed. OP on using an app to communicate with her soon-to-be ex-husband regarding co-parenting their daughter. That's what we are doing at the recommendation of both our solicitors. I have held firm on only discussing things related to our daughter. Anything else goes to our solicitors. Update 2. This is years later. The update is that I am now divorced. I live in Ireland. It's a requirement that couples live apart for 2 years before they can be divorced.
Okay, so we got a literal 2 year time skip.
Yes, 2 year time skip.
Okay,
at
interesting.
least. There are no exceptions under the law to this. It used to be 4 years, and up until 1998, divorce was not legal in Ireland at all. My daughter and I lived with my sister for almost 3 months before I moved us into our own flat. My husband and I did not own any property, and I legally had no authority to ask him to leave the flat we had while we were married, so I left instead. On the advice of my solicitor, I opened my own bank account and left our jointly owned accounts alone to be settled in the divorce. While we were living apart, my husband and I used an app to communicate about our daughter, and everything else was through our solicitors. I haven't talked to him about the affair. I haven't talked to his family or friends, and I don't have social media. My husband carried on seeing the other woman for several months after I moved out, so I'm sure everyone knows he had an affair, but that isn't my problem now. By the way, we have no problem with you joining us when we go live every single weekday at 3 p.m. PST on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Just tap our profile.
Seems very just easy. Like, not easy.
Well, I mean,
as
there
in,
was
like,
2 years, but
the way this, like, it doesn't seem messy. The husband is not arguing about anything.
No.
The person, the affair's husband looks like that seemed like it was go through, and it just seems like everything's like, all right, after the 2 long stinky years, the divorce
2
happened.
separated stinkers. I guess the lesson here really is don't get married in Ireland. It's too hard to cut it off.
I don't
she
think that's
should
the
have been
lesson.
able. She
I don't think
should
that's the
have
lesson
been
here.
able to leave this man instantaneously after he cheated on her. She should have been able to leave and win whatever.
Why are you
court.
so good at this? Why are you so good at just making bad comments about countries? The lesson here is don't get married in Ireland.
Don't get legally married in Ireland. Get married in a country that lets you leave someone if they cheat on you. And then if you want to live in Ireland, you can live there. It's just you're not married in Ireland.
The lesson here is
what's the problem with that?
The lesson here is just don't cheat. Cheating is bad, especially when you have a child involved. That's dumb. Now you're having a really bad, just a bad environment. Not a bad environment, but it's like that's so toxic because you want to have a healthy environment for that child. And look at that.
That's fair. I mean, if you think the cheaters will listen, yeah, that's fair. I don't know if anyone's ever been successfully like changed from being a cheater from hearing someone be like, don't cheat. They were like, oh my God, why didn't anyone ever tell me that sooner? Like, everybody knows it's wrong. Don't get married
unless if you're a cheater.
I guess unless you're a cheater. The only thing I talk about with him is our daughter and anything related to her. We have joint custody and I will pay him maintenance. Fault is not considered in a divorce and an affair doesn't affect custody. I do not have to pay maintenance to my husband for himself since he's already living with another woman, not the one he had an affair with, and plans to marry her right away now that we're divorced. If he had been living on his own and not about to get married, I would have had to pay him maintenance. I've never met the woman he had an affair with or her husband or their children. My focus is on my daughter and I am civil with her father for her sake, but I don't care about looking on social media or talking to him about the affair. I have never talked to him about it and never will. I only care about my daughter. Apologies if my update isn't exciting. I am divorced, there's no drama, and I know that's usually not exciting. But some people have been messaging asking for an update, and I wanted to say thank you to all the lovely people who offered me support during a terrible time. Glad to hear you're doing well. May things only get better from here.
No, it looks like you cut out the toxic part, or like again, your husband was toxic and cheated, and it, like I said at the very beginning of this, like not very beginning of the story, but earlier, is this was very civil. OP did things in the most civil manner, and it worked out so well. And again, she's like keeping the father of their daughter in their lives for her sake.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
Good. But that's the end of that story. Happy for OP. Got out of it nice and safe and
yes,
easy peasy, even though divorce sucks.
Good for OP.